Is it better to be feared or respected? And I say, is it too much to ask for both?
Hi everyone, welcome back to Screenplay or Bust, your one-stop shop for all things movies, and this is how Iron Man beat the odds and kicked off the MCU. Looking at the present state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Studios, and the ever-expanding roster of heroes joining the collective Marvel Universe, its success seems inevitable.
I am inevitable.
But what if I told you that the roots of this multi-billion, yes, that's billion with a B, dollar franchise were not as well thought out as we all might have thought? The Marvel Cinematic Universe of today has synergy, and with that synergy comes expectations. How does this project lead into another? Does this movie have an end credit scene? What saga is this a part of? Is this comic accurate? Why isn't this comic accurate? And on and on and on. It can all seem like a lot, but let's be honest, we all secretly kind of love it, or at least I do.
Sell out!
But within this mass conglomerate of heroes, gods, and monsters, it can be easy to lose sight of where and how it all began. All roads lead back to one movie, 2008's Iron Man, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Robert Downey Jr., Jeff Bridges, and Gwyneth Paltrow. As we all know, Iron Man turned out to be a smash hit, making $585.5 million at the box office worldwide on a budget of around $140 million, which in consequence kicked off the whole MCU. So, not too shabby for Iron Man. But let's get back on track. Why was the beginning of the whole cinematic universe so uncertain? Superhero films up to that point were complete hit or misses, so it really wasn't expected to be any different. But the real reason why this bold start to the MCU seems so uncertain, and quite honestly, haphazard, is that it didn't even have a complete script at the time of shooting. And the script that they did have faced a conceptual tug-of-war between Favreau and the studio, with multiple drafts being submitted and rewrites happening on a daily basis. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone, but the name of the channel is Screenplay or Bust, so although there's a slight bias there, screenplays are an important part of the movie-making process. So to proceed with a blockbuster movie without one, it almost seems insane. If you want to know more about why screenplays matter so much, I have a video linked on that up above. So now we know the stakes. A multi-million-dollar movie without a script, an entire cinematic universe to kick off, and yet there wasn't even a complete script. Clearly not good press for the movie. Or the cinematic universe, for that matter. So what we're looking at here is a multi-billion-dollar franchise basically started on a fluke. So who let the cat out of the bag?
Biodigital jazz, man.
Sorry, wrong movie.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave!
There we go, that's the one. None other than Jeff Bridges, whose film roster quite honestly speaks for itself. From Kevin Flynn to the Dude, Jeff Bridges is most certainly a living legend in Hollywood. But what did he have to say about working on Iron Man? When interviewed about the movie, Bridges only had kind things to say about it. But he did speak with honesty about the chaotic and sometimes uncertain nature of the production itself. They had no script, man. They had an outline. We would show up for big scenes every day and we wouldn't know what we were going to say. We would have to go in our trailer and work on the scene and call up writers on the phone. You got any ideas? Meanwhile, the crew is tapping their foot on the stage waiting for us to come on. He would go on to say, "It drove me absolutely crazy until I made a slight adjustment in my brain. And that adjustment was, Jeff, just relax. You're making a $200 million student film. Just relax and have fun." And it kind of did the trick, because here I get to play with these two incredible artists and just jam. And that's what we ended up doing. The two artists that Bridges is referring to are Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau. Both Favreau and Downey encouraged improvisation on set, leading to the creation of some of the film's most iconic lines, including,
I am Iron Man.
It's needless to say that this type of environment is not usual for a production with this amount of money or expectations attached to it. But why does it work? How did this cause Iron Man to beat the odds and start a whole cinematic universe? It's because the filmmakers and actors had vision.
But what is grief? If not love, persevering.
Damn, that's a great line, but not that vision. I'm talking about creative vision. There are times, rare as it may be, that creative vision triumphs over an original plan or screenplay for a movie. It is the exception, not the rule. But when this happy accident does work, it works big. So Iron Man beat the odds by just being a great movie. But the context behind that greatness is a bunch of happy accidents that led to something iconic. So I guess in this case, it's not screenplay or bust? That doesn't seem right. Well, who am I to say? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications. And comment down below if you knew this about the movie, and if you did, do you agree with this process? Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week.